I'm gonna ride the trek today. Got up here in the camper van. Remy's with me. You're gonna hear him bark when I ride away. Don't worry, he has water and there's ventilation and all those fun things. So we're gonna enter the trail right over there. Straight over, you can see a sign, it's right there. We're gonna enter that, we're gonna do that quick loop, and then we're probably gonna come out, go down the sidewalk, and go into the other loop. Okay? Let's do this thing. Now you'll notice today it's kind of casual for me. It's a little warm, it's a little humid, so I am just wearing a t-shirt. I don't need any special jerseys or anything for a little practice run, right? So there we go. And I'm not wearing gloves today. Usually I wear gloves. So we are gonna do Fox North. Okay? Yeah, I can hear Remy crying. He never likes when I disappear. Ken says I much blame him. All right. Now you'll hear and maybe see me shift a little bit. Now, even though the trail is relatively flat, I'm going to use my gears. There we go. It's nice. Now, I said it was warm and humid, but it's actually a little cooler here in the trees, which is nice. Now, this is one of the closest trails to where I live. Under the bridge. Boom. This is one of the closest trails to where I live. And so we'll bring the kids here to do practice. And remember, a lot of the kids that we work with in the NICA group, you know, a lot of them come to us and have never even ridden on a trail before. So we start out practice at the beginning of the year, and we do stuff at the park. We work on some basic skills, and then this is kind of the trail that we bring them to where they get to try some things out. Now, Coronado Heights, which is another trail that we go to, that trail's a little more technical. That trail actually has narrow spots, crossovers, little rock waterfalls, things like that. So now you'll notice I just downshifted there. That's because I used my brakes going through the trees, or through these tight turns I might slow down. And so I'm going to upshift or downshift accordingly. Now we can go over the bridge here, which is nice, but I'm going to turn around and go back over that so that we can show you. Well, I guess I'll just go through this way. This is the optional way to go through that, right? So a lot of trails that you take your kids on, you're gonna have an A line and a B line. And I guess I'm doing the C line right now going off trail. But if we look at this, you're gonna see that is, I guess, what we'd call the B line, and this is the A line. The A line's fun. We go through, it's a dip, some rocks, some obstacles. As you saw, I just rode right through it. But especially for younger riders, visually, that is more compelling than, say, the bridge, okay? So why don't I double back a little bit, and we'll come back at this and just ride the A line the first time. All right, so here we are, we're taking another run at this. I'm gonna upshift a little bit, get a little more momentum because it's like an obstacle, and we're gonna dip down and right up the other side. So that's an example of A line versus B line. And it's important to know, if you're gonna take your kids out into the woods, you wanna make sure you know that there's options for them to feel safe. Mountain biking is two things. I mean, it's physical for sure, but it's also mental. And we want, especially when we're talking about our kids, we want our kids to feel challenged. We want them to have fun, and we want that fun to be in the form of a challenge, but we don't want to burden them with it, right? And so we want to give them the chance to try the A line, the B line, and grow into their riding as they go. Now, some of you with experience might watch this video and say to yourself, this doesn't even look like fun. You know, where's the stuff we see like from Greer in Southern California, right? Where's the big 6-foot rock drop? Well, I'm here to tell you folks, anytime you swing a leg over a bicycle and you get out and ride, it's fun. Now this trail, you'll notice I broke my speeds down quite a bit through those curves. Why? Well, because there's trees, there's obstacles, and you'll notice I'm riding by myself. So when I ride by myself, I don't take any unnecessary risks. When I ride with people, I tend to have more fun, take more risks, ride at higher speeds, do the jumps, do the drops. But when I'm by myself, I tend to focus on fitness, fun, and safety. So I think on this particular trail, we've worked our way all the way down to one end, and now we're starting to double back. This is just a really fun, smooth, mostly flat trail. If you've got kids and you want to try mountain biking as a family, this is a great place to come. And I encourage you to find places similar to this to go out and get your initial experiences. Here we go, all the way around. Now, we just passed, when we made that sharp curve, see the creek right next to me to the left? Remember that there was the bridge and then the dip that we went through? We just passed that. So now we're doubling back. The trail that we just came down is right there. So when you come here with a team, you know, when you've got 15 or 18 kids out here, we're gonna see each other coming and going on the trail, and that kind of adds to the fun, right? When we bring the team out, you'll hear them, you know, hey Colin, hey Hayden, hey Will. You know, you'll hear them talk and joke around with each other. It just adds to the fun. There we go. Nice, nice pace. Now here's another bridge, right? So up and over. When you are working with your kids and you come up to obstacles like that, you want them to look ahead. You don't want them to focus on the front wheel. So you want to be teaching your kids from the very beginning to look as far ahead as they can on the trail, because that'll make them more stable. If they stare at the front wheel, they'll lose their balance. The last thing you want to do, have a kid lose their balance and fall off of one of them little bridges. Kind of takes the fun out of everything. Here we go. Coast through this. Nice corner. Now, something you don't see from the perspective of the chesty is what we call body bike separation. That's something we'll get to in the training. In the training, we'll talk about techniques for cornering, techniques for braking, techniques for using the right gears, techniques for body placement forward and backwards for traction. We'll talk about all that stuff. Now, on camera, you might notice my tires going back and forth. Sometimes I'm in the center of the trail, sometimes I'm on the left, sometimes I'm on the right. Most of that is planned. So for me, I'm a bigger fella. When there are trees on the edge of the trail, you're gonna see me kind of pick the side of the trail that's gonna give me the most amount of room. I wanna have as much space as possible for my big fatness to get through. Other people, they're gonna slam in right to the inside of a corner and have a grand old time. I tend to be a little more conservative in that regard. Now, there is nothing right or wrong about being in the center, left or right. Sometimes you're just looking for the smoothest space. Other times, you're looking for little hidden features. Sometimes there's a jump. Sometimes there's like a little berm. You can ride up on the berm and use it for extra traction. I'm sure I think it's this trail. There's like a little jump coming up. Yeah. So here's an example of like a bermed corner, right? So there's like an angle to the trail so you can handle it with more speed. And then I think we have a little wooden feature jump coming up. Here's another berm up over the top. Slight berm in. Nice. Around the hairpin curve. You know, again, you saw me go to the left side of the trail. That's because there's a tree on the inside. I want to give myself the room. Here we go up. And here comes a jump. Not a huge jump. Now, remember I talked about A lines and B lines before. There's no one else out here right now. So I'm gonna come around here. I'm gonna double across so you can see it. The jump we just did, probably to the average person that's never done this, that looks a little more intimidating than you were hoping for. And you can see, it looks like I landed right about there, okay? So what is that, 6-7 feet? I know what I'm doing. But let's talk about something. Let's talk about bike mechanics. You don't want your kids trying to roll off of this thing. Okay? If we just watch here, let me put even pedals here. Okay, I want you to kind of, maybe I need to change this. There we go. Hopefully you can see this. If I'm riding with a kid and they don't carry enough speed and they want to roll off of this, it could get ugly. This bike's a 29er, meaning it has 29-inch wheels. If it was a 27.5, that chain ring would be touching that board, right? So it's important when you do obstacles, you have to remember that speed is your friend. Speed gives you stability, and it gives you the ability to surmount things, momentum. You want that. I don't know if you can see this or not. I'm gonna include it anyway. Right here, see dot, 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 dot. That's a chain ring. Right here, that's a chain ring. Right here, that's a chain ring. And right here, that's a chain ring. By the way, a chain ring is the thing that drives the front sprocket, okay? So we can see at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 5 people have rolled off of this, hit their chain ring, and expectedly would have crashed. So I want to bring that up and make sure that we handle that perfect like. I'm going to re-angle the camera. I'm going to remount, and we're going to finish this part of the trail. Let me check and make sure that we're still going. Now for today's ride, I am using Hayden's old Trek Roscoe 6. This bicycle, brand new, was $900. There are cheaper models. There's the Trek Marlins, and I like saying Trek because Trek sponsors NICA. NICA is the organization that has youth mountain biking. So when organizations sponsor NICA, I get really happy about that. There we go. Here we go. Now you see we're gonna go back towards the bridge. So now this is a two-way trail. You would have to be very cognizant of who's coming the other way. So again, eyes up, focus where you're going, announce it. We could go to the left or to the right. Let's go to the right, see what happens. This dumps us back onto another piece of the trail, and we're able to keep on going. Now the pace that I'm carrying, you might be able to see this on the camera. I mean, I'm only doing 9 miles an hour. I am not tearing the trail up. If I were riding by myself and this was a training ride and I wasn't making a video for you, you'd probably see 12 or 13 miles an hour. Maybe 14 or 15 if I was feeling spry that day. but it's important to ride within your means. Now, you heard me downshift. We're going up a little incline, a couple of turns, working the path back up. The trail is relatively flat. So now I'm going back down. You hear me upshift a little bit. There we go. Downshift, coming out of the corner. Get my pedal speed back up. Here we go. Coming out of the woods, there's the van. Let's head on down over to the other trail. We're gonna take this sidewalk down about 1/8 of a mile, and it'll take us to the other trail. This one's called KW, so we'll go through here. I believe that this part of the trail is also popular for hiking, so we want to be careful looking for pedestrians. Nice. There we go. During Halloween, there it is, it's still here, the skeleton. During Halloween, they decorate the woods and invite people to come out. It's kind of fun. Here we go. You might be seeing what looks like fur on the trail. Those are not dead rabbits. That is cotton. Cotton blows around and then gets grouped together. Now see, we're on the other side of that creek. Now we're on the left side of it. And this trail goes round and around for a long time. There we go. Little rock garden and roots. Not a big deal. I like to stay closer to the creek on this trail. We're gonna come over here and have a short little bridge to go over. There we go. A couple of roots and back in. All right. I don't know if you can hear it in my tone or not, but I am having a really good time. And I'm not worried about Remy in the truck, because like I said, he likes getting out. For one, he likes coming out with me. For two, the camper van's comfortable. It's got ventilation, it's got water, I got music playing for him. He's happy. There we go. Now this trail goes out and then loops back. So on the way back, we'll have a couple obstacles that we can do. A couple of bridges, a couple of tabletops, things like that. There we go, nice and easy. Okay, through the narrow part of the trees. There we go. Now this is going to turn and go up a hill, so I want to downshift early and bring it up with me. There we go. Now it smooths out. Here we are. Moving right along. Here we go up a little hill, downshift early. Now I'm making a big deal about it, but the quicker you can teach your kids to downshift or upshift early, the happier they're gonna be. When we're coaching the race team, we still have kids that'll be in the middle of a race and they'll be trying to go up a hill, you know, in 7th or 8th gear. And you can see them really struggling. That's not the name of the game. The name of the game is to use the equipment so you're the most efficient possible. I love this part. Up a little bit with some roots, a couple of rocks. Now as we keep going out here, pretty soon we're gonna come across a rock garden, like a real rock garden. And it's kind of fun to see that. And of course, like I was saying earlier, there's gonna be an A line and a B line. There we go. This used to be really, really muddy back here. And so that little gravel patch there. Okay, I think we're recording. Yep, we're back. Camera went off, I don't know why. But here we are. I really like it back here. It's about probably 8 to 10 degrees cooler back here. And while it's a little humid, the cool air feels so good. Okay, we'll get the pedaling. You'll notice this is going up a little bit, but I have good momentum, right? So I don't need to downshift. Come over the top, back up again, a couple of roots right over. This is a little short up, back over. We do a couple of these little serpentines, and then we dip down across the creek. There we go. This hasn't been mowed back in a while. Now here's the creek. You'll see the rocks. All right. So that may have looked intimidating. It may have sounded intimidating. But if you have momentum, you'll go right down and right back up. This is going up a little bit, but I just grabbed an upshift because my pedal speed was strong enough and it's a gradient enough of a climb. Now, it's all overgrown, but here's our rock garden. This is the A line. Ooh. And the B line was right next to it. Now that was a proper rock garden with big rocks, and was a little bit of effort to keep the bike pointed in the right direction and not bouncing around. There we go. I am allergic to whatever that weed is. Whew. It's getting me. Here we go. Through. Looking good. Back up. This is pretty steep. And now this loops and takes us all the way back. So, one of the reasons I wanted to film here was to just show you. This isn't some 10 or 12 mile commitment, right? It's not like, I used to go hiking a lot. When I went hiking in Boulder, there was this place called something Loop Trail. What was it? Oh crap, can't remember. It's over the mountain out of Golden. Walker, that's it, Walker Loop Trail. And it was a commitment. Like once I started it, I knew I was gonna hike 9 miles. Here comes a little jump. I knew I was committing to 8 or 9 miles. So this is different. If you're a parent, see, here's A line and B line, there's another jump. So if you're a parent and you're coming out, pardon me, if you're a parent and you're coming out here, you're not committing to 10 or 12 miles on a bike. You're committing to a mile to 3 or 4 miles tops. And if you want to do the whole trail system, like what I'm doing today, you'll probably come away with 5 or 6 miles. Now, in the grand scheme of things, that's not a lot. That's not a big commitment. So you're not getting stuck somewhere, you know, with a whiny, tired kid. You get out, you have your fun, you load up the truck, and you head home. Pardon me. Man, this is nice. I love the smell of all the pine trees and stuff. I'm pretty sure I'm allergic to whatever that weed is though, because my coughing and wheezing has started up again. But really great day. Now normally this trail's cut back, so all this overgrowth in here is normally not here. So I believe the guy who runs out, coincidentally, the guy who maintains this trail, his name is Kurt. Oh, I just ran through a spider web with a big spider in it. Okay. Coincidentally, the guy who takes care of this trail, his name is Kurt. And our team comes out here quite a bit. So, oh, here's a fun obstacle. I forgot about this. So looking straight ahead, all the way around, right? Again, optional. A line versus B line. Anyway, I'm pretty sure my team could come out here and help cut back some of this overgrowth. And if we do that, I'll probably come out and do another film of this. What a great time. Now it's about 80 degrees today. I didn't really touch on that. It's the middle of May. It's about 80 out. It's super humid. But when you dip off into the woods, into the trees, it's not that bad. You know, and I'm keeping my energy up. Attitude's good. How could you have a bad attitude doing this? All right. Trash barrel. Here we go. All the way around. Loop back in. Now, we are in today just about 5 miles. So, if I were to put all the video segments together today and run it in full, full length normal speed, you would see that we've gone just under 5 miles. And what is that, 13 minutes? No, 33 minutes. 33 minutes. So if you were to do this with kids, you're a parent, you come out here, plan on an hour to cover that much distance. Don't rush people. When people are learning how to mountain bike, you want to make it fun. So don't rush them. Let them learn at their pace. Give them tips as you can. Talk about body bike separation. Talk about shifting gears. But try not to lose your patience. When Hayden was young, I would kind of lose my patience internally. I'd be coming apart at the seams, and my wife would be like, take it easy, take it easy. Hey, we're on the way back from where we came in. Here's a nice little jump. All right, there's going to be a couple more. Here we go. Nice. All right. Whew. The trick is to not lose your patience. Let them develop, and they will. Like, that's the cool part. They will develop. So when they do, you get this wicked sense of accomplishment. It's so awesome. Whew. Not gonna lie. Getting a little out of breath. The jumps were fun. Now those weren't big jumps, by the way. You could roll them. I'm gonna dip back down. Now, if I didn't dip back down, I would have gone up that end, all the way up to where those trees are, looped around and came back this way. So we can go almost just as far that way as we did to my right. That's really cool. So when you come here, like I said, you could do all the trail and come away with like maybe 6.5 or 7 miles, right? Totally cool. Let's go this way. Now, this is the way that we first came into the, what was the name of that trail? The OK Trail? The KC Trail? I can't remember. So we were through the woods, like where the skeleton was. Now we're on the outside of the woods, and we're headed back towards where the camper van was parked. This part of the trail has like a wooden tabletop. Again, A line and B line, but, oh, there's a bird there. He's gonna be upset. There he goes, right up. Now that is not scary, but kids love it. Kids think that is fun. Here we go. See, and now we're just kind of outside the tree line. We're just kind of swerving back and forth. Now we're going to dip in a little bit. See? Just trying to keep things different. Now there's going to be a choice. We can turn here and go to the teeter-totter, or we could go to the right and go up that big hill. We'll go this way. There we go. I am going to dip over here. I may have missed it. No, I wanted to go the other way. I'm sorry. I want to go the other way so I can do the teeter-totter. And I know what you're thinking. Kurt, you could just ride right through. I want to follow the trail. So the trail is here. So here we go. We're back on trail. This is going to loop around and take us to the teeter-totter. The teeter-totter, on a 1 to 5, I'm going to say it's a 3 because of that. The teeter-totter holds position until your weight makes it go down on the other side. So for little kids, they got to get like really close to the end before the teeter-totter goes down. So you got to work with them. You got to watch them. It's not dangerous, but optically and experientially, it's next level. Okay? This is going to take us straight out to where we entered the trail. Here we go, here we go. And back out. All right, we're back on the sidewalk, and this will take us right back to the beginning of the KW Trail. All right, hopefully you enjoyed that little tour of the trail that I gave you. I stopped, a little sweaty, and the bugs are out, so this isn't gonna be that long, I don't think. But you can see, I don't look like an Olympic athlete, and we just knocked out 5 miles on the trail. I hope that you can be inspired to do kind of the same thing. Now for today's ride, we just rode a Trek Roscoe 6. It's a hardtail, so I'm not riding with, excessive suspension, anything crazy. I got a basic bike, and we're just out having a good time, just enjoying ourselves. This trail is in McPherson, Kansas. It is, 30, 35 miles outside of Wichita. McPherson's a great little town, so pretty close by. There's restaurants, there's bars, there's a Walmart, there's all the things, all the creature comforts you need in a town are here. The trail, as you can see, is a lot of fun. Is it miles and miles and miles of open wilderness? No. Is it a really well-constructed kind of internal trail system that gives you a great workout, time to get away from the computer or whatever else it is that you do, and a chance, if you got kids, my goodness, what a great opportunity to get out and enjoy the outdoors with your kids, have a good time, and get fit. I own a company called Mañana No Mas, and at Mañana No Mas, I make a weekly video, and it's called Fitness, Focus, Freedom, Friday. Fitness, Focus, Freedom, Friday. And I reach out to other entrepreneurs, and I talk about things like, hey, what are you doing for fitness this week? Have you gone to the gym? Are you going hiking? Are you bicycling? Like me, I'm going mountain biking today, right? Focus. What are you focused on? What is it that's really taking your attention? And is it healthy or is it unhealthy? And how can we focus on things that are more healthy, right? So fitness, focus, freedom. I'm self-employed, so here's a great example. It's Friday afternoon, and I'm out mountain biking and making videos for you guys. So fitness, focus, freedom, and of course, it's Friday. I hope you've enjoyed this. The Pedal Academy is moving forward. We're having a blast. So we're making this kind of content. We're putting up information for families, for kids. Look for things, like if you're just getting started, look for things from us like how to source a good bike at a good price, how to know if the bike fits, how do you properly size a bike for a kid, especially a kid that's in a growth spurt. What do you do there?
What kind of shoes? What kind of shoes do you want to have your kids in? What kind of gear? What kind of clothing do you want to have? Today, it looks like I'm just wearing shorts and a t-shirt. I'm gonna give you a little secret. I got some padded shorts on too. So I'm wearing the padded shorts. Why? Because my butt hurts. So I'm wearing padded shorts, t-shirt. I got the GoPro on. Of course, a helmet. Never ride without a helmet, folks. Always, always, always ride with a helmet. And you'll notice I'm wearing eye protection. Besides looking cool, the eye protection's important. You'll notice when I was riding back there, earlier on the video, I had said, hey, I just went through a spider web with a really big spider on. Well, aren't I glad that didn't end up in one of my eyes, right? So you want to take care of yourself. You want to make sure you have the basics. So, you're going to want something comfortable to wear. You're going to want some decent shoes. You're going to want some eye protection. You're going to want a helmet. Now, normally I wear gloves. Normally I do wear gloves. Today I knew I was going to be trying to work with the camera, and it's kind of warm out, and this is just kind of a fun ride here in this nice little trail. So I didn't wear the gloves. If I was at one of the races, competing, coaching the kids, anything like that, I wear the gloves. Sometimes I wear them even when I don't need them, because I want to put forth the perspective that we wear all the gear all the time. Safety is a big, big deal. So, folks, again, I hope you're enjoying this. We're going to make a whole lot more content, and the courses inside the Pedal Academy are going to be phenomenal. I'll see you along for the ride. Bye-bye.